What's up, banana bunch? Bunch? Bunch?
Welcome to the Junglejims podcast. What's up, Banana Bunch? You know what time it is. It's time for another episode of the Junglejims podcast. I'm your host, Mark. Welcome to the show. Look, I'm getting this one quick. This is a long episode this week. I sat down with Griffin from SodaSeekers. He's doing a face reveal on the show. I think it's really cool that he did that. I think this is one of the first podcasts he's done too, at least in this space. Griffin's awesome. We're going to dive into all kinds of international soda options, amongst other things. He has one of the only, if not the only, no, how did he word it? It's the world's largest soda-focused, I think the way he said it was so great, soda-focused Instagram account, but he's great. He's great for good news. He's very well-versed, and he's an avid Jungle Gym shopper and fan. I love that. I wanted to do this handout today because I was going to show you like the little fridge. We don't really show this too often on the show, and some of my collectibles up there too. I'm opening this week because I'm selling a very big collectible that I had that I just didn't have room for. So hopefully I make a lot of money for that. Cross your fingers if you're listening. On the more important side of things, Sandwiches of History is coming up to Junglejims on the 9th of March. So that's in like just over a week. Tickets are available. We've blown past their halfway point of the sellout, so I'm pretty excited about that. I really want to get some more butts in seats. So you can get that at sandwichesofhistory.com/live, or you can get the information on junglejims.com and get your tickets. Again, it's Sunday, March 9th. It's at 3 p.m. It's an early one. I think it's only a couple of hours, so it's a very quick, I think he's about 2 hours for every show. I'm really excited. Barry rules. His channel's awesome. If you don't follow him, go to Sandwiches of History on any social media platform, YouTube, whatever you have. Dive in and do that then. Let's see. Next week, we're going to the world's largest toy show, the Toy Fair in New York City. That's going to be amazing. I'll send some clips. Probably won't have an episode next week because of that. And in the meantime, though, I'd love for you to download the new and updated Junglejims app. They've added some new features to it. You can get even more detail about products in store, find your way around the store. I know people love the idea of an interactive map, so that should be really cool. Again, you can still get the recent episodes of the podcast. You can get app-exclusive savings, baby, and deals. You can see the weekly ad, all that good stuff. Highly recommend downloading that in the meantime. So yeah, check that out. So without any further ado, let's show the world what Griffin and SodaSeekers really looks like.
Do you just keep your sunglasses there for fun?
If I don't, I will forget them, and then I'll go home, and then I'll be like, oh my gosh. And thankfully I leave late. Yeah. And then tomorrow morning I'm mad. That's my whole life.
How have I done this to myself?
I like being angry in the morning. That's the real trick. That's how you stay happy the rest of the day.
Cheaper than caffeine. Natural, which I'm told matters now.
See, oh yeah.
As evidenced by the colors of these Fantas.
That's what I tell everybody. That's why I'm naturally aspirated. Oh my gosh. Griffin, SodaSeekers, welcome to the show, baby.
Hi, buddy. I think we just cold opened a little bit.
Yeah, I do like doing that. I'm like, because you get in the weird rhythm and the groove. Well, I am excited because I mean I've seen your face before, but now the public has seen your face. So this is the official face reveal for the brand, right?
Yes, this is. I have met people as the brand, formally and informally, but in terms of actually putting it on the internet and attaching it to the account, yeah, hi, this is what I look like, sorry.
And now know that my audience is probably 10 to 12 times larger on audio only. So
oh, good.
So it's even less. My big question was, now that you've revealed your face, will you be showing it more frequently?
I don't see myself becoming a big vertical TikTok guy. I'm going to leave that to you and the experts, but I'll probably do a few more podcasts. I've had some offers from nice people that I told, no, I promised my first to Mark, but after him, I'll give you the sloppy seconds.
Well, thank you.
By all means.
So for everybody who does not obsess over social media and content creators, why don't you tell us, what is SodaSeekers to you?
Gotcha. So I have to talk to smart people who make good decisions.
No, our audience is not smart. I see what they're staring at us as they walk in.
Terrifying.
I have to tell them. And they can hear me saying that, to be very clear.
Of course. So they know who to attack whenever we say something.
That's why the windows are bulletproof.
Their red jackets. And so
she seemed to love that bit, by the way.
You know what people love in a podcast? Callbacks to things that won't make it into the edit.
We forgot
That's
to record that
their favorite thing.
So we were talking. No.
So to answer the question,
yeah.
For the uninitiated, which is most people, technically speaking, last I checked, I run the largest beverage dedicated news account on Instagram, which gets less impressive the more qualifiers you put on it. But it's I've been doing it for 3 or 4 years now, and I just talk about drinks and drink accessories.
Yeah.
If it has anything to do with a drink, I will talk about it or know about it. In addition, I also, because of that, scammed my way into a job writing for Sporked, which is a food blog underneath Mythical Kitchen. The Good Mythical Morning guys technically pay all my bills, which is very nice of them.
That's so cool. Yeah. And well, that's how we kind of crossed paths. I forget how we originally got connected, except that the internet just fed each other to us.
Instagram DMs are just so valuable.
It's really true.
Yeah.
Well, and I just really liked what you were doing anyway, because I follow brands like obviously yours, Candy Hunting, who
What a sweetie.
I'm going to try. I mean, I don't think she's down, but we joked last year at Sweets and Snacks because I took a picture with her and she was like, no faces. And I was like, I'm 100% cool. I'm just privately DMing this to everyone. I'm kidding. I would never. But she was a delight too. And I'm like, oh, I love all these people. And I feel like we're all kind of in a similar space.
Yeah, we all have fake jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
And we do very
Matrix
similar
jobs, I keep referring to it as.
My grandparents ask, and I'm like, I talk about Girl Scout cookie flavored Pop-Tarts. I don't know what else to like describe it as. It's just not real.
Just the flavors of the Pop-Tarts. That's what I would tell them. Like, it's good. It's not. Yeah. Oh, I think I'd go crazy for a Samoa's Pop-Tart.
They're doing it.
Are they good?
Yeah. It's Thin Mints, and it'll be called Coconut Caramel because, as we all know, Girl Scout cookies are named different things depending on where you live because of the great Girl Scout cookie baking war of 1812.
Oh, that's amazing. I'm so glad. I'm glad that was really what I studied in grade school. Actually, it was all.
That prepares you for a fake job like this.
They're like, what was Louisiana Purchase? I'm like, well, so Hostess was,
Hostess went out of business, and then they didn't. And now they're bringing back Suzy Q's, and I'm not supposed to say that yet.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Listen, we knew what Drake's Cakes were up to. Look, that's where I grew up. When I first moved here and Drake's Cakes went away, I was like, I'll never have a good crumb cake in an individual package for 20 years.
Not a tasty cake guy.
Tasty Cake was good too, but I feel like for a long time they weren't here really either. I felt like I had to drive far away. You know what I mean?
They've gotten better distribution in recent decade.
Because I'm mostly referring to like the 90s. You know what I mean? Because the 90s were a lawless time.
I was definitely there and alive.
Yeah, I know you were. Thank you, though. But this is going back to our comment earlier.
Face
before the
reveal
show.
and year of birth reveal. I was born in 1998. Hi.
Oh.
I don't remember.
Summer of Limp Bizkit.
I don't remember Bill Clinton at all.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's got to be just like a myth to you.
No, I hear he played the saxophone. It was a big deal at the time.
It's crazy to think where politics have gone. At the time, people were like, damn, that guy can play the saxophone. We lead the country.
Remember when it was like a big deal that he went on MTV and answered a question about his underwear?
Yeah, I mean... But I will say, though...
I don't remember that, but hypothetically.
As someone who was there for it, I remember as a kid being kind of like, this is the first serious job person I know showing up on MTV and being like, well, I like to, you know what I mean? And doing this kind of Hank Hill.
No, keep going.
Yeah, exactly. I'll do
to the crowd, please. Keep doing a Bill Clinton voice.
Bill Clinton
it's going to go great.
I do have my alto sax in here, so I'll just play it if that's what it comes down to.
That's why the sunglasses are right here.
It literally is. It's like right under the desk back there.
I can't wait for the talent show episode.
Oh, that'd be so good. Yeah, except I'll refuse to perform. You know, like, this is not part of the deal.
Is that the one place you have like a little period? I didn't mean to hit you with the Stephen Colbert, Keanu Reeves. Like,
hit me though.
Are you not proud of your musical?
No, I am. Okay. But you know what it is? I think I know a lot of really talented people. I know a lot of really not talented people, and it's hard. I've always tried to be a pretty humble person, which I'm sure some people will like hear me say that and laugh at it. I'm like, whatever.
I like that you said that, and I can see a cardboard cutout of you right there.
Well, the good news is that you know why that cardboard cutout's here. So that, because like at first, you imagine the schedule, right? Out of the 8 hours every day, it's a lot of editing, it's writing content, it's shopping the store, it's all this. And then probably 2 hours of the day is actually the physical podcast aspect.
Performing
of it, right?
and being
So then you'd have people who are just like, you're not recording podcasts 8 hours straight every single day. It was always customers. And I'd be like, no, like how many do you think we put? I put out one a week.
You wouldn't listen to that many if that happened.
No, and if every episode was like a 3-hour Rogan-esque take on the different international sodas are on the table right now, I don't think anyone's listening to that show.
I think that's how you drop in the rankings, which my understanding is your rankings are
usually pretty good. The company that was charting them, Chartable, they went out of business. So now I don't really know. Now I have to like manually check, and I'm just like, no, you know what? It's fine. We've been in the top 50 a lot, but I always say top 100 because
That's
I was
safe,
like,
yeah.
And that's so going back to the musical question. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, do I think I'm talented? Yeah. Do I think I'm the most talented? Absolutely not.
Don't need to advertise it loudly when there's things that you know you're good at.
Right. Like if
yapping.
If somebody just wanted me to sing, I'd do it. And I'm like, oh, I'm a decent sax player. I'm a decent guitar player. But they were like, would you enter a competition? I'm like, no, absolutely not. There are people who have wasted their lives learning to be great at that. And I was just like, no, you know what? I just kind of wanted to learn enough songs so that girls would bat their eyes at me. And it's worked out great so far. You know what I mean? That was my whole goal.
I think SodaSeekers might be the first thing in my life I've ever dedicated time to that wasn't in the pursuit of women.
Well, you know what I mean, though? That's like, but here's the thing. Look, I always joke with all of my creative friends. I was like, is that not why? They're like, no, we got into this for the art. I'm like, no, none of us did. We got into it because there's a high ceiling for earning, right? If this blows up, I can be...
I win.
Right, exactly. And then all the other things I wanted, you know, get the what's the old thing? It's like, first we get the jobs, then we get the khakis, then we get... we're already derailed. You're right. If we just went going, we'd be 30 minutes of X-Men.
You just led me into Wild Stallions. Well, we need Eddie Van Halen to make the money to get the video, but we need Eddie Van Halen in our video to get the money to get Eddie Van Halen.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you for mentioning one of my favorite musicians of all time.
Wild Stallions?
Yes, Wild Stallions. I'm a huge, you know what they really did in the third movie was, good old Van Halen.
I liked the third movie.
I did too. I loved it. Actually, okay, here's a funny third movie story. So that movie came out, like the night it came out on streaming, we were so excited. I had friends over, we're like, we're going to watch it. And then it was like in the middle of COVID, right?
Yeah.
So we were still like, oh, this is awkward. So I didn't have a ton of people over, but enough that I was like, all right, we're all spaced out. This should be cool. And the movie ended. We're like, wow, just the feel-good thing we needed. And I'm telling you, 30 minutes later, I get the message, Chadwick Boseman has passed away, because it was the same night. And and it was like, you know, it's like you can imagine I run with a nerdy crowd. And all of us were just like, what? And absolutely baffled. And again, it was that thing because, you know, everybody remembers those first few months of COVID. It was weird and strange and hard and all that.
I watched every animated WWE crossover movie.
Those exist?
5 of them. There's like a Jetsons one, a Flintstones one, 2 Scooby-Doo ones, and Surf's Up 2. Surf's Up was a animated chicken surfing movie.
Yeah.
And they made a sequel 10 years later with a bunch of wrestlers.
Were any of them good?
The wrestlers or the movies?
I guess maybe both, but I meant the movies.
Well, CM Punk is in the Flintstones one as CM Punk Rock, so naturally 10 out of 10, no notes.
Okay.
The first Scooby-Doo one was the least bad.
Okay.
It's got the clip, if you've seen it on the internet, of the Scooby Gang's about to get crushed by a boulder, and all of a sudden John Cena's theme, and he pops out of nowhere to catch the boulder.
Oh, I thought that was just a bit that they made for
That's
the
a
internet.
whole movie.
Okay. That's
and I think that
amazing.
was how they made, that was the thesis statement. Like, they showed that clip and said, we'd like some money to
Fund
do
this.
87 more minutes.
And they're like, oh, wow. And John Cena, you can't see him, right? Isn't that the bit? Yeah, so then they didn't even have to animate him, I'm guessing. That was terrible, but oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I know we derailed here early. Maybe we should talk a little bit about what's on the table before we get too lost in the sauce.
God, there's soda
because you and
here.
I will go back to being insane people.
Oh, we have far too many of the same interests to ever stay on one topic. So
Yes,
this is a dangerous proposition.
If it wasn't a little warm in here, I was going to wear the X-Men blanket you gave me. Thank you. Thank you to Griffin's mom for that.
Oh,
You'll
yes.
see it in all of my Instagram posts now going forward. It's like,
It's weirdly soft.
yeah, it is. It's very soft.
Yeah.
And it was one I can touch too. I have like a good amount of nerve damage. So some things are a little dicey. I'm always like, all right, is this a good or a bad one? Well, you saw me touch it.
Yeah.
It's a good one. If I couldn't touch it, you would have never. I'd be like, thank you. It's staying in this plastic bag.
It's going to go on the wall as a tapestry.
I would give it I'd be like, can you wear this for me? You know what I mean?
There was a moment when you had it on sitting and it was over your legs that you looked like Professor X in Logan. And I made the comment to someone else who was in here, and immediately after saying it, you crossed your legs. And I was like, well, that's just showing off.
And then I'm reading the Taco Bell menu. That's like my favorite Logan Professor X scene. Oh my gosh.
We can't talk about Marvel movies. I'll be
We'll
here
get
for
there.
all 5 hours.
We'll get there. That'll be the second half. Yeah. So I wanted to bring it. So when we were talking about this, we thought of a couple ideas. And so Lucky and I went shopping earlier, and we went and got we actually have way more than this, but we narrowed it down to a simpler list in the interest of this not being a 7-hour live stream. Although we should do a live stream.
10 sodas.
Yeah, right. That's how bad it was. But we wanted to get all the international versions. So we have I'll go from my side over. I've got Mexico Pepsi. I've got US Pepsi. Not as many variants there. Fanta, I think, is the most exciting one in that we've got one from what looks like Russia. I'm calling the other one Eastern European because it kind of looks like Russian, but it's it's like in how should you say, like a romantic text versus Cyrillic.
Slavic?
Sure, that sounds good. It was in that section. And there's no notification. I'm like pulling up the website before anybody asks. I'm looking at the website. It's like, okay, it's not even telling me where this is from. I have a British can of Fanta. And then, of course, we have the American one. And then last but not least, we have a Mexican bottle. And then on the Coke side, I've got Mexican Coke. I've got American Coke. And then I've got the cute little one. That's Turkish Coke.
This looks like a Christmas ornament. It doesn't even look like 200 milliliters.
It's adorable, isn't it?
I think I've had cups of mouthwash more than that. So
I think so too. Yeah.
If they're charging any more than a nickel for this, I'm gonna be mad.
Oh well, the Turkish are charging more than a nickel for this. I'm sorry, but take it up with them. It's turkey flavored Coke. That would be so bad.
Please don't speak that into existence.
I'm sure Jones is listening right now. Like, we already did the one.
Did you have the turkey and gravy?
Yeah, that's one of the things I've been the most mad about.
Did you chug it?
Were you supposed to chug it?
Yes, they had a promotion on their website where if you sent them a video of you chugging a bottle, they would send you a free T-shirt.
I don't know. I don't think I want a shirt that bad, to be honest with you.
I'll say this: they're nice T-shirts.
I'm sure they are.
I didn't get one from chugging a bottle, but I did force 2 of my friends into doing it. One of which was on stage, which he has yet to forgive me for.
It was terrible. It's one of the worst things I had a sip of.
It tasted like a napkin that you had wiped gravy off your mouth with.
Beautifully
And I know,
said.
turkey is a napkin. No, like a paper towel.
Like an actual paper towel, yeah.
With some gravy on it.
I don't know what, I guess I kind of know, but it's like every so often. Well, you shop Jungle Gyms often, right? That's, again, really how you and I got close in the first place. But it's so funny because you see those brands like Lester's Fixins, that whole line, where I'm just imagining that these companies are like, what if I made the worst thing ever that somebody will buy? But if you shop here ever, you'll see all the halves of those bottles left in the parking lot.
Just people go,
okay.
No, actually.
Buffalo Wing soda? That wasn't, it's like, what about carpet glue soda? You know what I mean? The flavors are incredible.
It's like I'm noticing that with a lot of the brands that do the weird flavors is they're starting to release them exclusively in larger packs. Because if they do a 20-ounce bottle or a single can, that's what you'll buy the smallest quantity because you don't necessarily want it. There's a brand that will remain nameless who did a vegetable juice flavored cocktail flavored alcohol. And they only sold it in like 8 packs that were like $60. So
nobody bought it, I'm guessing, right?
I have no idea how it's sold, but I know that the can I had was one of the worst things I've ever drank. And that is a list that I keep track of.
That's amazing. There was a brand that we used to carry here called Perfy. And have you seen the pepperoni pizza one that Vasa made yet?
I have a box coming tomorrow. I
don't know how soon mine is, but it's on the way as well. So I was going to ask if I was like, I hope that's on your list.
My review is due Monday from Spork. That one will be going up.
Oh my gosh.
Because the Perfy, the brand, does not have necessarily the clout that Spork is looking for. But when I said pepperoni pizza flavored soda, they got it.
Yeah.
And they said, yes, do that.
And Vasa's he's a cool dude.
Oh, yeah.
It's
another one where the team is nice, and I hope that the brand succeeds because I like the people involved.
Yeah, I really like the drink, too. It's one of those, of all, a lot of the modern sodas, I wish it had a little fiber in it now that that's so popular, but, all the adaptogens and stuff, it tasted great. His yuzu one went crazy.
Their Dr.
Perfy, right?
Comma, pepper soda.
Yeah, right. Whatever the sparkling prune juice soda flavor is.
Yeah. I really liked that one. The smell was dead on to the brand you would expect.
Yeah.
And the taste was close enough that I wasn't bad.
Yeah. Mr. Poivre.
I don't know if it was Dr. Perfy or Dr.
I think it's Dr. Perfy, I think they called it.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot too.
Oh, yeah.
I really liked, I think he had a yuzu one that was really great in the lineup, and there was another citrus one that I drank all the time.
Was the blood orange with the yuzu?
I think it was blood orange yuzu. Maybe that's all. Yeah.
It's been around a year since I tried it for the first time.
Yeah. I was bummed when there's so many products here. It's a bummer when you find something you like here, and then it's like, well, the other customers didn't find. mean, by the way, I think 9 out of 10 times it's just maybe they didn't find it.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
No, this is super easy to get around. It's very very small and compact. Is this the part where you tell them how I robbed you of the experience of passion fruit Snickers?
Yes, I think you should tell that story. So I'm just sitting here trying not to be mad about it.
So I come into junglejims, as I often do. I say hi to Mark, and then I go do the shopping, because that's what you do here. And I find the expansion had just opened.
Yeah.
And I find a nearly empty box of passion fruit Snickers from Brazil. I'm like, well, that's going home with me. I know how this works. And I pick it up, and on the way home, I put something on my story like, hey, found this. Maybe I'll review it. We'll see. And you messaged me, where did you find that? And again, wayfinding here is a little tricky.
Sure.
So I gave you the best approximate, like, I was here, and then it's around the corner on this new shelf. And
What's weird is, by the way, is I knew exactly what you meant.
Of course, yeah.
I was just like, oh, yeah, okay, got it.
It's the place with the thing and the stuff, yeah.
Yeah, right.
And so I had it, and I ended up ordering online some flavors from Brazil that weren't here at that time, or still, apparently, of lime mousse and a Brazilian word for peanut brittle that isn't peanut brittle. Because when I called it peanut brittle, I got some angry comments.
They're like, it's different. You're like, well, but it kind of tastes the same. It looks kind of the same. I get it.
It translates roughly to the American sites that talk about this call it peanut brittle, because it's what we know.
Right.
And I reviewed those, and every time I posted about having it or the review or anything to do with Snickers at all, I get a message from you where you say that you would really like the passion fruit Snickers to come back ever.
We keep asking, but you can imagine with everything going on in the world right now, a lot of the international items are a little weirdly hard to come by suddenly. I don't know what happened.
Did Bill Clinton do that?
I think he did. He played, when Bill Clinton plays an F sharp on an alto saxophone, it actually creates incredible waves of discordance that just echo throughout humanity.
That's what causes the boats to get stuck in the canal, and that's why we don't have Snickers anymore.
I think, the peanut butter one, I think I'd seen that one shortly after you were here, but that passion fruit one was gone like the next day.
And like,
also, again, I'm going to call it peanut butter. I'm ready. I just am ready for more mean comments.
It's close enough. And like, we have comparable peanut brittle-y Snickers. Like, it's already peanut.
There's that thing though where I love a Snickers bar, but I really don't love American candy anymore. And one of the things, I think we'll probably touch on this, for everybody watching along, you can see that the Fanta alone, well, I guess maybe not from the cans directly, but when you pour it out, but there's at least 3 different colors on the table for one drink.
The ingredients on Fanta vary wildly from country to country.
Which is so crazy to me. I wonder what the Mexico one looks like, actually, while we're thinking about that.
I believe American Fanta is the only one that does not include real orange juice in the recipe.
Let's see here. Yeah, I'm looking at this one.
Also,
no, I think Mexico might also be on that one too.
Color-wise, I mean, this looks like an orange juice.
Yeah, it looks like Orangina.
Yeah, ooh, love orange.
Yeah, I know. When they stopped selling that in the U.S. directly, and we get it here now, but we get the French bottles, and I hate to tell you what a 6-pack of that costs from France, and they ship it in glass, so freight's crazy now.
You tried the blood orange Orangina, right? The only flavor variant I ever saw of Orangina.
No, I don't think I ever did. But wait, was it a long time ago? It feels
in
familiar.
hindsight, yes, it was.
Yeah, I was like, were you a child when it came out? Great, I was 30.
It was either mid or before the pandemic.
Okay.
I'm thinking of who I drank it with and when I stopped talking to them. So yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about. It does sound really familiar. I got really hooked around that same time when it was harder and harder to find Orangina. I started getting into the San Pellegrino orange drinks too, which I really like that.
Our sad American equivalent.
Yeah, for sure. But truly not bad. Although I did get you hip today to the 2 Italian ones, that the La Siciliana ones. Those are crazy.
I love an Italian sparkling soda.
The lemon one in particular is great. I thought about bringing it in here, but when we were sticking to specific brands, I was like, okay, maybe
we're doing a gimmick. I've got the surprise at the end, but we'll get to that.
And yeah. Well, maybe we should lead that earlier, because I think it would be good to test your mettle if you're ready for this.
Okay.
All right. So, SodaSeekers, how did you describe it?
Let's just say the preeminent beverage journalist on Instagram.
Thank you. I love that way. I was not going to say it that well. That's okay. Well,
it's going in the resume.
Yeah, please. I just sent you a thing on LinkedIn saying I vouched for you. So what I was going to ask you, can you give me your top 5 favorite sodas?
Top 5 all time. Number 1, we'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll go in reverse.
I know. I'm pretending like we don't know.
Of course,
that.
Yes. We have not talked about it repeatedly.
Number 5, then.
Oh, this is the weirdest David Letterman list. It's so much easier to name the ones I hated.
We can do that next.
I
I'm kidding.
I don't have enough time to talk about how bad sour plum Fanta from China is. It's the worst.
Oh, that is a bad one, though.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
I had it at the World of Coke tasting experience, and everyone, the joke is, oh, Beverly.
Beverly's bad.
I would drink a 2-liter of Beverly before I ever touch sour plum Fanta.
Those two were definitely up there as like the worst two on the lineup. Yeah.
It clearly intentionally tasted expired because sour plum, like it's bad.
Sorry. All right.
Some good flavors.
Yeah, top 5 good flavors.
I mean, I like Baja Blast. I mean, partly because Taco Bell is my favorite fast food place.
Sure.
Based on how good they are at reinventing the wheel with the same 5 ingredients.
Yeah.
And the Baja Blast was created specifically in a lab with people wearing goggles to taste good with Taco Bell. And then the same people did the same thing with KFC, and it worked half as well.
Yeah.
Sweet Lightning's okay. I don't know that I can give you 5 without like sitting down and thinking about it for way too long.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the easier thing to do would be to go by company. I've been drinking a lot of Sprite Chill.
Okay. Love Sprite Chill. That was great.
Which, Sprite Chill, 2024 summer limited edition Sprite Chill that has not left shelves since summer 2024.
Only the 0 one disappeared, which I loved.
Briefly.
Yeah.
That's, they've yet to comment formally that it's permanent. It's permanent. It's so permanent that it's getting its own flavor variant at Walmart.
Strawberry kiwi, right?
Oh, yes.
I can't wait for that one.
I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm mad there's no 0 in that.
Give it time. I mean, it's in reality, every retailer exclusive from one of the bigger companies is kind of being looked at as a test market.
Right.
Is
like,
it
is
worth
this possible?
expanding?
Yeah, exactly.
I know that I can probably talk about this. Diet Cherry Coke is coming back to the Kroger family of grocery stores, which is enormous, and that internally it's kind of being looked at. Is it worth it to bring back? They discontinued it in 2020 during the big aluminum shortage. Everyone talks about the toilet paper. No one talks about how we got so bad at getting aluminum into soda can form that Coke discontinued 5 or 6 of their variants.
My favorite one ever got discontinued.
Diet Coke with Splenda.
It was no. I generally don't love Diet Coke.
I was hoping to just pull that out of thin air.
That was perfect. I was like, I do remember. I remember wanting to love that when it came out.
I know
and I was
people
like, Coke Zero
who are
was great.
still mad about that one.
The one for me, it was Cherry Vanilla Coke Zero. Cherry Vanilla Coke Zero went hard and away. This is me disrupting again.
No, you're fine.
Because I was like, okay, wait, you picked. So Baja, is that your Pepsi
I'm going to
pick?
go, so we'll do Coke, Pepsi, Keurig Dr. Pepper. I'll pick a random extra brands. Coca-Cola, I'm going to say right now, Sprite Chill. I love a classic Coke because of course I do.
Yeah.
Pepsi, I'm going to say Baja Blast. The only Pepsi proper product that's even good is Cherry Pepsi. None of the others matter, and they shouldn't exist. And you can quote me on that.
I love you, Pepsi, though. My guests don't have to.
I have some lovely friends in the Pepsi ecosystem. I would succeed at the Pepsi Challenge, which means fail the Pepsi Challenge by their metrics.
Standards. That's very funny.
Which they are bringing back. I don't know if you got that press release.
I can't wait to see more about that. Yeah.
Keurig Dr. Pepper. I really liked creamy coconut, but it's not coming back. It's not back yet. It should be coming back this year. Strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper
That's the pick there.
so good.
Yeah.
I like blackberry. I wish it was just a reskin of darkberry.
Me too.
Darkberry
Darkberry was the best Dr. Pepper variant in my personal opinion.
It's so good.
Yeah, crazy good.
And we were owed a re-release because it came out every couple of years with a movie.
Yeah.
And we missed the year it should have come back with a movie. Jurassic World is getting a new movie this year.
And it was a Jurassic World one last time, right?
So at my desk, where I write all of my nonsense, I have a mini fridge that I won from Dr. Pepper that the front, it's the darkberry blue, but it's got the Dr. Pepper logo and the Jurassic World logo in amber on the front. And it holds 4 cans of soda, which is all I ever need for review purposes. It's not even plugged in. I just like looking at it.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's beautiful.
Hey there.
Oh, the public.
Love it. They can hear, and we can hear them ish.
We can hear them enough that if they say something nice, we know what's going on.
Sir, your hat is black on black, and it's in the reflection. I can't see it.
Oh, it's got words.
Come closer to the window.
It's got words on it, I can tell you that.
Oh, wait, I have to read. Can you see it at all, Griff?
Simply Steaks?
Simply Steaks? Oh, that's awesome. Wait, are they the non-meat meats? They're real meats. Okay, sorry. I have a lot of emails with similar names. I'm so sorry. But I want to try them. All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Making deals.
I love it.
Live.
Yeah, no, look, in the middle of the show. I love
We
it.
know what we're doing.
I used to have a mic outside too, so they could chime in too, but then like kids were hanging on. You can actually see it's that little black
cord.
Yeah, there's there. And then if you can see the actual mount is right outside the window too. We just tucked it up there, and I took the mic, and I was like, "Yeah, children keep hanging on this."
You know,
it's a great idea.
Oh yeah, there's a way to do it. It's gonna be like man on the street. You're gonna have a correspondent.
Well,
out
you
there.
saw the new mics, right? So that's why
yeah.
we got those, so we can play around with those too. But,
I do like and I'll get back to my ranking. It's only gonna take 20 minutes.
we got 3 so far. Wait, let's knock those out.
Every once in a while on my story, when I refer to you, I will call you my Cincinnati correspondent.
I love that. I'm happy whatever you need.
Just trying to become Jon Stewart, I think, is always the goal.
Yeah.
So,
and I just wanted to be what's his name, Ed Helms, because he was the reporting guy for a while there. Yeah.
Coke, Pepsi, Dr Pepper.
Yep, we got those 3.
We'll shout out my friends at Wild Bill's.
I love Wild Bill's.
Their blue raspberry ring pop is so spot on candy.
Dude, insane.
I can't have it too often because they make their stuff with real sugar and you can tell.
Yeah.
Tastes great. But their Rocket Pop is outstanding. And Rocket Pop in general is I'm
Great
so
flavor.
glad Faygo made that flavor happen with Firework and everyone stole it from them. And I'm so happy because everyone who does it well.
My favorite one was the Mountain Dew version. Summer Freeze.
Which is coming back this year.
That's what I heard too. And they did a grade 0 of that. It was so good.
So good.
So good.
That is, I don't really buy soda that often.
Yeah.
Consequence of what I do is that I get mailed a lot of drinks.
Sure.
So I kind of just end up drinking what I have. So like right now I'm still working through, Red Bull sent me more Red Bull than they meant to, I think.
That's awesome.
I'm going to finish my ranking and then I'll say how nice things about the lovely people at Red Bull who, their PR people are in New York and their warehouse is in LA. And at the time they were launching their pink wild berries flavor, it was right around the wildfires in LA. So like they told me like, oh, it's delayed. And I'm like, that doesn't matter. I'm not concerned if this is the reason.
Right.
But I know like PR messaged warehouse and said, hey, send this person at this address 1 case each of full sugar and 0 sugar. And the email I got from PR said, yeah, you'll get 1 4-pack of 12-ounce full and 1 4-pack of 12-ounce 0.
You're like, that's perfect.
And warehouse read that and went, well, yeah, we sent them a case of each. 1 case of 8. It was a big, heavy box that I'm still working through.
I bet. Yeah. You're like, how much caffeine does one man need?
Oh, I needed to think of a 5th good soda.
Wait, I think you have one. Isn't there not one under the table? That was the bit.
One. Oh my, that's how good
You
I am at
you
this.
committed to the bit. I was like, we
Thank
have the
goodness.
top 4.
And number 1, which I have said publicly and will continue to say publicly, my favorite soda of all time, that if I could get it in bulk at a price that wasn't horrible,
threatening,
would be Colombiana, and there's more words on the bottle that I do not know how to read.
I also don't speak Spanish, but
It is a...
what does it just say? Soda flavored? What does that say? Cola flavored soda.
Cola flavored soda. So Colombiana is one in a genre of drinks that I really only ever see here at Jim's, which is a champagne cola. And it is South American in origin. It is a cream soda adjacent flavor. I have fond memories of buying this for the first time here at Jim's, and every time I come in, I get at least one of these, if not a 2 liter.
You got to pop it open.
Oh, by all means, I will. You're new to this. This is
okay. I brought it out. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw the cap at you. Oh, it does smell good. I have been slowly working my way through all of those. I've been so excited for it. Here we go.
I mean, first off, the color is like, you actually compare it to the Fantas, and it's a clear orange, but it's
like a reddish orange, like sunset.
Give that a smell.
Oh yeah, it smells great. It's like like notes of like a red cream soda, maybe.
Yes, it's definitely cream soda adjacent.
I think the way you described it's so great. Oh, it's I want to use the word muted. But I don't mean. I think that would
calm.
have.
It's not
exactly.
These are going to be pretty, I would say, abrasive. This is.
I hate. It's unfortunate. So many of the words that are very good to describe things often have a negative connotation. Because when I say muted, it's just not screaming in my face with my face rather, with like intense flavor or sweetness.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
Damn,
that is the.
I'm gonna fill that one up. You want me to
poured
top you
yourself
off?
a heavy dose, and you're going back for seconds.
That's a
which
good tell.
We have not done yet today with other drinks we've tried.
Exactly.
That you'll see on social media.
That's right.
Hey.
Oh, this is good though.
I was telling you, like, once we open this, you're gonna wish I'd grabbed a 2-liter because it's. And also, this is room temperature, so it's only gonna get better.
Yeah, I was gonna say the one thing I didn't think of as fridging everything at the same temp. That was at the time. Yeah, you know.
Now that we've been to the top of the mountain, I think we've got some other things.
Yeah. Which end would you like to start on?
What?
Should we go Pepsi since you were upset about them?
We could start with Pepsi. Yeah.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
I have lovely friends at Pepsi who send me information that they really shouldn't much earlier than they should even have access to it.
Look, I say this all the time. I say this to our Pepsi reps that I work with often. The thing I tell them all the time is that I love that a multi-billion-dollar company that is in the top 3 selling on the planet, you take risks in the ways that the other 2 in the top 3 do not at all, right?
It's that hungry sophomore, like they're, especially now that Dr. Pepper is
usurped them a little bit.
And it's only because of strawberry Dr. Pepper.
Makes sense.
The charts of, before strawberry, after, the amount Dr. Pepper's beating Pepsi in sales is entirely
based on those
strawberry.
Huh?
And that's why Dr. Pepper's now going all in on these, like, we got blackberry
That makes sense.
And we're going to have, I'm sure we'll be seeing more in the future.
The one thing I wish that Dr. Pepper would do with those is that I wish they, like, I liked the coconut one a lot, but I need more Dr. Pepper flavor. Like that, and that's my same critique. Blackberry felt like the first one of the 3 that they were like, okay, let's get a little more Dr. Pepper with the flavor. Because I like the strawberries and cream, and I like the coconut too.
But they aren't
they're that first.
They're not immediately Dr. Pepper.
Right.
Like it. I always talk about if you taste it blind, would you know what it's trying to be?
Exactly. And to me, each time I'm like, it's strawberries and cream soda. I'm here for it. So by the way,
I smelled it. It smells like a Pepsi.
Yeah, I'm pouring the American Pepsi first. I figured we'd try that.
So exotic.
And let me just make sure that this is still, this is high fructose corn syrup.
You're pouring some big samples.
Yeah, I'm a thirsty guy, dude. I don't mean to, but I was like, 3.5 ounces, we'll be fine.
It's fine. I mean, I'm still gonna, when the waitress says, "Is Pepsi okay?" I'm still gonna say no, but it's.
You're like, but I'm dealing.
Oh man. So when Sierra Mist switched over to Starry.
Yeah.
This is the humblest brag I have in the game.
Yeah.
I broke that news.
Yeah.
To the wider public. People had been talking about it on like Reddit. I was their first Twitter follower back when that was a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm at least at one point my post was cited in the Wikipedia page.
That's awesome.
What that meant was, if you recall, they had to switch over Sierra Mist to Starry in all of the restaurants.
Yeah.
You've got servers and waiters and waitresses that have been saying Sierra Mist for 2 decades. So I've had so many awkward, every time I guess, like, I think this person will know the name change, I'll say Starry and they'll go, what? Or I'll say Sierra Mist and they'll go, oh, we don't have that. And they'll try to explain to me, which feels extra weird because
you're like, I know.
I'm sorry.
Slip of the tongue.
Oh, I'm so aware.
I do like Starry.
Oh, Starry's. I wish the cranberry was better. I'm looking forward to them getting into new flavors.
I think if the cranberry had been, again, it's my Dr. Pepper conundrum. If there was more lemon lime in there with the cranberry, I liked the cranberry a lot, but.
I get chasing Sprite.
Sure.
Don't. Do something else.
Yeah, you're part of the team that's always innovating.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest with you, it's way better than Sprite, especially, again, as a zero sugar guy in general.
I like Starry Zero Sugar better than regular Starry.
Yeah.
And I want to say it's because it's, if you think about it, doing the math, it's the first mainstream soda flavor where the zero and the regular were created at the same time.
Yep.
Which means hypothetically, they could have made sure the balance was better than every other soda where they're starting with, oh, well, we've had this recipe for 200 years, and now we're trying to replicate it without all the good stuff like sugar and cocaine.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Oh, the good old days. When we were buying the Turkish cocaine, we just kept asking, like, when are you going to get Cuban, not the Turkish cocaine, the Turkish Coca-Cola?
Where is that?
I just spoiled my own joke. But I was like, we just kept asking the buyer, like, so when are you going to get the Cuban Coke? And he's like, oh, wouldn't it be great if we had a wall of all this international Coke? I was like, yeah, I'd love to see Coke from Cuba. And I love him for being innocent. But I was just like, come on, laugh with me, man. I'm moving on to Mexican Pepsi now.
Okay, let's see. We gotta now notice this is they're still using the globe logo.
Yes, I love that. Have you seen that? Have
The
you seen? Where they're just like, this is the wings of the.
This is
This is it smiling.
The orbit of the consumer around the Pepsi shelf. Like, oh, it's
hilarious.
like,
you know what? They leaked it. That means way weirder stuff is going on behind the scenes.
Marketing people, good for
weird.
them.
Yeah.
They're getting paid.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
This is
Mexican. This
What's
will be
the sugar here?
This is pure cane sugar, baby.
I was gonna say I can smell it.
And there's like less ingredients over. There's like less ingredients. Sorry, I don't mean to sound like an idiot. Oh, there's also a little sucralose in this.
That I'm noticing that is becoming more of a thing for brands that want to keep sugar but want to
probably pat it out
lower
a little
sugar.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what's interesting about this, because of that, let me see here. I'm looking at the total sugar count here. So there's way less sugar. Like this bottle here, with what, 6 ounces more? What are we at? Is this one 12? So 8 ounces more. But even still, you're like in the 20s.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is 69. So that's actually a good way. If this tastes good, this might be the future. I like it better than the American one regardless.
Yeah. It's gonna sound maybe disparaging. It tastes more like Coke.
That's funny.
It's closer to
Like a spiced Coke. I feel like the Coke versus Pepsi thing is like, do you want more spice forward or do you want more sweet forward?
Can I break something to you about the Coke versus Pepsi thing?
I would love to.
Coke came out before the advent of wide refrigeration. Pepsi came out after. Pepsi was made with refrigeration in mind. Coke wasn't.
Oh, interesting.
I prefer soda at room temperature.
Okay.
I think cold affects the palate in a way where you get less. So like usually when I'm doing my reviews, unless it's a Slurpee,
Right.
I do it at room temperature. So for that reason, I've always leaned Coke.
That makes sense.
That is sort of a quieter reason for the difference between the two.
That's beautiful,
Is
though.
because of how much newer comparatively
Right.
Pepsi is, and the formula that is different because it came out at a different time, and there aren't too many. I mean, the other great example of formulas being created for necessity is, you know where we got Fanta, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure I know where we got Fanta from.
Fanta was created when a certain country couldn't have Coke because they weren't allowed to buy things from a country they were trying to beat in a war.
Yeah, right. That's World War II, right? Yeah, because it was German. Okay,
Fanta's,
that's what I thought.
They said it was made out of leftovers of leftovers, the very original Fanta.
No kidding.
Which has
Makes
nothing
sense.
to do with this.
Right, no.
The orange Fanta, the base Fanta that we know, came out of a different country over a decade later at least. But the origin of the name Fanta came out of a Coke factory that separated from Coke Global at the time.
Right.
And when the war was over, Coke came in and reclaimed the factory and said, we own everything you did in the intervening time, including Fanta, which is how they... And they would love for me to not say any of this out loud,
Of course not, but they're like...
wearing their T-shirts.
We'll just bleep all the Coke. Right? Be like, so this very popular red soda company...
Of course, yes.
That's so funny. Well, you know what? At this point, the internet exists. Just be honest with history.
I just said on camera how much I like Coke more than Pepsi. I'm allowed to say a little bit of history about their thing.
Exactly. I mean, and it's true. It happens. I mean, there's like if they're mad about it, you're like, take it up with Grandpa Coca-Cola.
Should have won the war faster.
That's what I'm saying. You should have never let it happen in the first place.
problem.
Yeah, exactly. No more Fanta rations. That's so funny. I remember at some point somebody commented on one of our review videos about the Fanta. Like, don't you know this? I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. I mean, that's just not. They're not doing that right now.
It has nothing to do with modern Fanta.
And I'm pretty sure the video at the time was me trying an American one and the one that we were pretty sure was from Russia. We're like, these are just different.
Now, if one of these was a German Fanta, I might be concerned, but we're safe.
Yeah, I think it's all Eastern Europe, so we don't even know where these are. None of us, we're Americans. We don't know what a globe looks like.
We're at the top.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's flattened now. It's just a disc. Oh my gosh. So we should try Fanta next, right?
Anything to get the taste of flat earth out of my mouth. Yes. What we start with?
I think we start with American. Yeah, I think that sounds like the move. That's the UK one here. Yeah.
The nearly identical UK and American, because the homogeny of design Oh, that's way too big a sentence for this. Never
No,
mind.
it's okay. You say it. I love it. Yeah, sometimes these episodes are just for me. Oh, yeah.
No, the Red Bull's doing this right now, where they are now, as closely as they can, releasing new flavors globally at the same time.
Oh, interesting.
So, like,
Trade.
the wild berry that we just got this year, the UK had last year,
Okay.
but like the winter berry, gummy bear, whatever your country called it,
Right.
came out in so many countries at roughly the same time, which is great right up until you remember that half the world doesn't have winter at the same time we do.
Right, exactly. Like a whole hemisphere is
Close
missed
enough.
out. You know what's funny? It always smells more like real orange than it tastes.
I forgot how good Fanta smells.
Yeah, it really does.
Because I never order Fanta or on purpose.
I like orange soda. I almost never have it.
It smells like high C orange lava burst.
Which, and it's funny that the other day I was like, if they just carbonate that at McDonald's, it'd go so crazy. Or if they would just be cool with me at the window, I'm like, listen, I need half Sprite. I need half orange burst.
That's Coke Freestyle. They could be sitting on something great.
Well, I just like, I grew up in the era of, well, you can't call it that anymore. I guess they call this drink an unalive now, where you would just try all the different stuff. And I never, like running the whole lineup and doing a full unalive, not great. But
So
a couple clever, I like to mix a little fruit punch in a Mountain Dew every so often.
I did and this will be quick while you're sipping your Fanta. I did every Powerade ranked for Sporked late last
I
year.
remember that, yeah, because you had the sour ones in there too, right?
Yes, and at the end, I poured like 1 ounce of every flavor into one cup, and I called it Jungle Juice in the article because again, Powerade suicide. I don't think the brand would love that.
Yeah, right.
It was better than
Aided suet. What is this, Canada?
It was better than over half of the actual Powerade flavors.
I honestly, part of me imagines that could be true, which is why I like to mix the weird stuff on the guns every so often.
Because you never know.
I mean, look, one I did today at lunch was half Barks root beer, half Coke Zero. Because I wanted some root beer, but I didn't want the full sugar.
Yeah.
And if you mix this is a tip for anyone out there in a similar desire to me, but root beer is such a potent flavor that you can usually mix it with like a Diet Cola and it will still
It'll
taste
wash out
90% like root beer. Yeah, like I got very little Coke Zero, but I was like, oh, I know this is half the calories, and that made me feel good about my choices.
Do you have strong opinions on the zero sugar A&W that exists now?
I tried it and I liked it. I remember when that happened, it was right around, I feel like, the same time when Mug dropped their Zero, and I don't like Mug, unfortunately. But I get it's a meme, but
Mug's social media scares me.
That's, I think, the only thing I like about Mug is the social media.
Did you get their DNA test?
No.
I don't know if it was Super Bowl or what, they had a test that you could mail in to get to see if you had that dog in you.
That's
and
amazing.
you were supposed to open a can of their root beer that they had in the box, smell it, drool onto a piece of paper that you put like a chlorine testing strip on, and then I assume the answer is always yes, you got that dog in you because it's a gimmick. But like, I saw it, I was like,
either that or we're giving all of our DNA info to Mug root beer.
Ancestry.com brought to you by Mug Root Beer, of course.
It's now 24 in me.
I don't even remember I don't know who owns Mug. I don't remember.
I thought it was I thought they were either Pepsi or Dr. Pepper Keurig.
I don't remember.
But I think there's so much. One of the fun things I've learned about it since being here in the soda world is how often like companies will own a product, but then like their competitor is the distributor for it.
Oh yeah, that's
wild to me.
Depending on your region, Dr. Pepper is a Pepsi or a Coke. So like I've got certain sites that I'll go to for news and information that is meant for like distributors and employees, but they don't lock them down, and I know how to Google stuff. And so half of the Coke sites have Dr. Pepper on them.
Yeah.
But they're always, it's very like a muted version of the news where like, it's like, oh yeah, BlackBerry came out today, so here's the assets. Whereas Dr. Pepper's actual sites would obviously have that stuff way sooner.
You got to copy.
I'm just giving up all the corporate.
I love it.
details.
No, it's perfect. This is exactly what I always want the show to be.
So
this is you go describe it.
The American one smelled like orange high C lava burst. This smells like orange Jello.
Yeah, and it is a noticeable difference in change. Yeah. It's like a little less, I would say spicy the cute way. Sweetener on this is cane sugar.
Really?
That's what it says, yeah.
It doesn't.
I think this one tastes worse than the American one.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of surprised. It tastes way more fake.
Is it all cane sugar, or do they have some?
Yeah, I don't
is there
see.
anything
I
else in
don't.
there?
Let's see. Sucrose acetate, isobutrate. So no, I don't think that's a sweetener.
I mean, if the sugar is above, any
No,
of the
it's just
sweetener,
water,
then-
cane sugar, citric acid, potassium sorbate, and then it has all the other stuff like the modified food starch, glycerol, ester of rosin. My favorite.
And
Oh, you know what though? The ester of rosin and the wood rosin thing. This just made me know exactly what this tastes like. So growing up, do you remember like the orangeade and like the little milk cartons?
yeah.
I don't know if that's enough of our age gap, but it tastes the way like orangeade or orange drink tasted like in grade school. And it also had that ester, the glycerol ester of rosin. And sometimes they would, back in the day, they would just list it as wood rosin. And we're just like,
perfect.
oh, is it just like wood? Like they're like, it's slightly more than an acceptable amount of wood shavings in this.
maybe there's sawdust in it.
Yeah, this
no.
one's not great. I thought okay. So I mean, so far America's in the lead. That's I'm surprised. Normally, American sodas never win for
Yeah,
me.
that's. So I ran into this. I was drinking the new Juice Monster Viking Berry.
Yeah.
and it has an insane amount of sugar in it.
Yeah.
and it doesn't taste. It doesn't taste too sugary.
Sure.
And it brings to mind something horrifying that it comes up with this. That does not taste too sugary.
No.
Sugar's the second ingredient.
Right.
Which meant that, like in testing, they were adding incremental amounts that it was at least even tolerable.
They're like, is this enough?
Can we get away with this much? And the answer is like, no.
Probably.
So like, it's terrifying to think of like what that would taste like with less sugar, considering that it has what sounds like a lot of sugar and doesn't taste.
Yeah. What's in the
sweet.
59 grams in that whole bottle?
What's a good old American Coke got? 65. So
And that's 500 milliliters, which is what's a Coke bottle? 330.
this is 591. So it's actually.
That's actually more there.
If you balance out milliliters, that's a pretty comparable sugar amount. Which again, Coke tastes sweeter than that. So
I agree.
What
Yeah.
else is going on in there that's hiding that? Now this looks,
one, and I love the color on this one. It's a much more muted, it looks like real orange juice color. This I really get the Jello.
This looks like it should have pulp. Oh,
right?
Jello at the hospital.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it really is hitting a nice nostalgic note.
Not to hit the Ted Lasso barbecue sauce.
Yeah, right?
And where is that collab, by the way?
Oh, I'm surprised. Yeah.
Like they did a.
It's gone already,
They
I
did
guess.
an ice cream, but
Yep.
I haven't seen a barbecue sauce.
Which you think would make sense. This is the least sweet of the three we've tried, without doubt. It has the most of what I would call real orange flavor, even though I imagine it's all in another language. It's all in Cyrillic.
I imagine it, looking at the color and like what the
probably
research
has
I've
some in
done,
there,
I believe
right?
it has some orange juice. This is reminding me of Orangina, but it's not as good.
Yeah, it's worse orangina. It's got that weird little, I don't
You
know how
gotta
to
stop
describe
calling things worse other products.
it. Yeah, sorry. Well, if they don't call me back, I'm calling it honestly. I was like, if you want me to say it nicer, mess with me on the show.
That's what I cover a lot of like leaks and early news.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be mean, by the way. I'm
no,
just trying to be.
It is accurate. Like,
Yeah, I would just want to be very bluntly descriptive.
I say it's not as good as Orangina. You
Yeah.
say it's worse than Orangina. It's a
I love
connotation thing.
Orangina. It's one of the best drinks ever. It's
like I'll buy
Jason Statham got blown into a case of it once in one of the Transporter movies. How can you not like it?
That should be every billboard for them. Just a picture of Jason Statham covered in juice.
I mean, he drank a lot of it in that movie. They must have paid a lot of money for that Transporter movie.
So on my page, I cover a lot of
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
early news
Yeah.
that hypothetically is coming out before it maybe should.
Sure.
And I'm always like, I'm upfront with anybody who says like, if I have an embargo, I respect it.
Of course.
I want to work with these brands. I want to do things correctly. But also like first off, there's companies that don't care.
Yeah.
There's a company on this table right now that actively is like, oh, you want to post stuff early? Great. Get the hype going quickly.
Yeah.
But like, just tell me when you want me to talk about
Right.
it, and send me a can when it's out. That's all I want.
Yeah.
But like,
Or if you want to send it early, just be like, hey.
Oh, yeah.
Well, as we talked about, I think it's been announced since, but like the Sprecher collab.
Yes.
Where that was the thing. They're like, hey, we're going to send this to you. And then I was just like, what are the rules? And they were like, thanks for asking. Here are exactly the rules. And I was like, great. I'll wait until after that to post it. And the system works. It's so easy.
I love when I have an embargo for a piece of news, and then days early, the brand itself is talking about it. And it's like, okay, well, you're talking about it.
Yeah.
Can I talk?
Yeah.
I ran into that with Red Bull Pink Berries because the global account talked about it before the U.S. account embargo date. So I was like, I'm just not going to touch it. So,
For sure. You're like,
I'd put that above the glass bottle, but still,
I don't think it's going to rank high. But
it's closer to American than the other one.
I agree. My take in general, I do like the real orange juice note. It has a little of that. It's like a weird funk that happens on orange juice from concentrate. It tastes like celery to me. I don't know what do you know what I'm talking about? You taste that in there a little bit? And it seems like it happens on a lot of the European soda. So I'm assuming it's just some ingredient that's used in there.
They're using as a preservative or a bottle cleaner.
That hits that kind of like, I don't even know what I would call that note. But to me, I always think celery. Like it has that kind of like bitter ground flavor.
Did you try the Jones Hatch Chili and Lime?
No, I was curious, but was it good?
No.
I didn't think it would be, so I'm glad I missed it. I'm still stuck on the turkey one from an hour ago, honestly.
Yeah, that was...
I meant to tell you when we were telling that story, I had my friend Victoria that works upstairs try it with us, because I was like, I know this is going to be bad. And I'm like, this is the worst thing ever. She tries it. She's like, yeah, that's not great. I was like, that's not great, Victoria.
It tastes like watered down gravy, which like you've had.
Yeah.
It's not great.
I know, but I didn't want it carbonated. I was like, Grandma.
You wouldn't drink it on purpose without something else there.
Yeah, right?
So the Hatch Chili and Lime, I tried it, and I was like, I know exactly what this tastes like.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what it is. I took a second sip. It's Taco Bell lettuce.
Oh, that's wild.
It was like specifically from a soft taco where like the lettuce is like wet.
A little wet,
up
wilty.
A little like... And I said it, I was chatting with Team Supernova.
Yeah. Oh, we love Team Supernova. Yeah.
My buddy. And I told him, like, oh, yeah, it's Taco Bell lettuce soda. And he's like, that doesn't sound right. And then, like, 2 weeks later, out of the blue, I got a message from like, it's Taco Bell lettuce soda. I'm like,
yeah, you're like, well.
Yeah, I told you. Like,
look at this color change.
That looks like American pineapple Fanta.
Yeah, and so this is the one that we were implacably Eastern European.
Some sort of
yeah.
Slavic.
What does it say? Yeah, republics. Is it? It says something. Maybe Serbia. I don't know.
These were definitely the bad guys in at least one Expendables movie.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It smells good though.
I like that we're creating a like rainbow of
Fanta.
Real orange versus fake orange versus not sweet enough versus too sweet.
We were having a talk the other day, and this is so ridiculous. We were talking about colors and how the public would freak out if they added a new color. And I'm just like, we should just do that. I told her, I was like, we got to just make that a bit. We got to just do that as a thing and tell everybody. Scientists have discovered an 8th color.
So,
and I think we've discovered it. I think it might be this one.
Not to reference another podcast on a podcast. The gentleman at the now called Regulation Podcast, who's
F-Face.
Exactly. I
mean, we can say it, but I forgot I have the speakers on today. Normally,
there might be children. So no. They, I believe, invented what. Is Gurple their color?
Gurple? I love that.
I know they have a T-shirt it's like a two spheres of a color in the middle, and it's got a word. I want to say Gurple is the color they decided to invent. I'm not up to date.
No, it's okay.
But I love those boys.
Yeah, me too. They're very funny. What do you think of this one?
Oh, it's... Again, like, we're going to build a 0 to 5, but this is... I like it.
I think this is my second favorite now.
It's closer to Orangina.
Yeah.
And that's
which is really what
I'm like. You know what I wanted in this soda?
I think
a different soda.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, well, I think that's it, right? Look, one of the themes lately has been that in American food we have like this is orange flavored, but it's not. It doesn't really taste like orange. It tastes like second orange. It tastes like the color, not the fruit, right?
Yeah.
And
hey, red is a great flavor for cream soda.
Look, I agree. I'm like,
and it's weird that red is so much better than blue.
Baffling. And I'm just like, you can't tell me that Red 40 has that much flavor. And then I'm like, you know what? I've been drinking Code Red for years. Maybe it does. So far, this one I think is my second. I think I'm still going American Fanta number 1.
I would have to look at the ingredients. If I was actually going to if I was going to pick up a Fanta and drink it between these two, it might come down to like.
I'm like sitting here like, maybe I should take my glass. The font on this is so little. I'm like, oh my gosh. I didn't think I was that old to need progressives yet.
I'm not, broadly speaking, too concerned about sugar. I have a job where I eat candy.
Right.
It's kind of hard. That said, like there are drinks that are just so full of sugar. Like if I'm thinking about it,
right,
you got to be worried.
Yeah.
So like the Fanta, it doesn't. Check this American bottle.
Well, here while you're looking at the
Yeah,
bottle.
73 grams. So it's more sugar than I think the Pepsi or the Coke.
Yeah, that's like putting up like Mountain Dew numbers.
Yeah. And it's not worth that. I don't think about it. I step on a scale twice a month, but like if I don't think it's worth it, then we really gotta rein it in.
UK Fanta is the one we just cracked into, and this one is also kind of yellowish.
How do I politely say this person needs to drink more water?
Yeah, right. So let me look at this one.
A lot of the energy drinks.
Orange. This one also has orange juice from concentrate.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Other citrus fruits from concentrate, and they put their percentages on here. I actually think that's wild.
Other?
What's that?
Other citrus fruits?
Yeah, it just says, well, it literally just reads citrus fruit from concentrate. And that is 1.3% of the drink. The orange juice from concentrate is 3.7. So 5% of this drink is real fruit.
That's impressive.
This also has vegetable extracts in it, namely carrot and pumpkin. So that sounds like the colors are from that. It does mention other sweeteners and that it uses acesulfate. Yeah, gosh, I'm so sorry.
Potassium?
Acesulfame K, yeah, potassium, right? And then sucralose. So there's a little of that in there too.
Yeah, so they're using the fake sweeteners to
pad it out
cut down on it, but they still got that. I like that. Again,
Like the taste of this one?
very close to Orangina, but it's that. I mean, honestly, those two are very similar.
Yeah, I like the UK one slightly less. I think my ranking right now, I'm going to try the American one more time.
Oh, that's going to be a punch in the face compared to these
I think it's gonna,
polite European versions.
Yeah, I think it's going to ruin the ranking.
It topped me off as well.
Yeah, of course.
A smaller one, though. Good Lord.
Yeah, I know, right?
We just talked about that sugar content. Again, and even like if I let it sit still, it looks like Jell-O.
It really does.
I wish it tasted more like Jell-O. That's somebody I'm surprised hasn't gotten into a licensed drink.
I thought they did. I thought they had like the powders.
So they've got Rise does a supplement that's Jell-O flavored, but they don't have any energy drinks or drinks a la the Skittles juice-ish.
Sure. Let's dive in. Let's rank those Fantas, baby. Yes. Okay, I think I have my list.
That cut brought to you by drinking a lot of liquids.
Yeah, seriously. I realized, I was like, oh, wow, each one of these cups is 3.5 ounces.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, and I know I doubled up a couple times. I was like, oh,
and
cool.
we did a couple before we even got to the table.
And, you're young, but I'm not. And so that is definitely a thing as time goes on.
To me,
I'm
young?
Right? Well, it's all allegations. Oh, we got a hair reveal, too?
What hair?
I have my ranking. Do you have your idea of what you're ranking?
I mean, I've just got favorites and everything else. I think the two most Orangina-esque, because I completely avoid the microphone, those are my... Again, I want this to be Orangina, so the ones closest to that are what I like.
So my ranking, I'm pretty close to you. So I'm going to go number one now.
Sorry, I meant that one. Not...
You meant this one, the UK.
Yes, UK.
Okay, not okay. Then yes, then
that's somewhere in the middle.
This is the Russian one. That was fine. I'm gonna go. Here's my ranking for these. So I'm gonna go Eastern European is number one. I think it's the best one. It tastes like real orange while also tasting like a treat. Here for it. Weirdly, I'm putting US Fanta as second for me, but it's tied with the UK.
They are comparable while tasting very different.
Right, so that's my ranking. The other ones were fine. The only one I would definitely never drink again, I think, would be the Mexican bottle one,
which is
a bummer. Usually that's the exact opposite.
Yeah, usually your cane sugar is
like
such a standout.
The bottled Pepsi was excellent.
Yeah.
And then, oh gosh. So anyway, that would be my move. So this one, if you're looking for this is going to be, I know I just keep blanking it as Eastern European. It's in our German aisle at both locations. So it'll be a language that you don't speak, but it is still in like, I don't know, how do you explain it? Like it's like a Germanic language, not a Cyrillic font.
I just think by confidently saying you don't speak it, you're going to get a lot of angry German comments.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. All of my extended family is all overseas, and they only watch just to tell me how bad American stuff is usually. Do you know that the Germans make the best everything ever? I'm like, that's so crazy. What happened in the 1940s there? And then they stop responding to me. It's great. Love you, Gregory. Love you, Amin.
Hugo Boss makes great clothes.
I'm always
Volkswagen makes lovely cars.
Well, let's talk about Volkswagen, shall we? No, I'm kidding. I love them. I actually, real talk, I want that new bus, the new VW bus. It looks amazing.
Electric? Oh,
yeah.
It's so cute.
Yeah, and I'm like, I know nowhere here is ready for electric yet, but I'm like, I mean, I'd even do a gas hybrid if that was an option, but I just thought the thing was cool.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, like as we're winding into we're not going to do 3 hours of show. We're like well into an hour plus at this point. We should go with Cokes next.
Let's go to the
Coca-Cola Classic.
the original. I mean, we're opening with, and I'll note this is I've had people ask like
recycled bottle edition.
Yeah, is there like a mint Coke? And I'm like, no, it's just the stripe. That's apparently the green of recycling is toothpaste mint.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it spearmint?
Yeah.
Do you remember cinnamon Coke?
Yeah.
I didn't like it. A lot of people seem to like it. Why, thank you.
As I throw the cup.
Yeah,
back towards
exactly.
You.
Wow, dude, so aggressive.
I think Christmas flavored Coke is fine.
Yeah.
I think I liked cinnamon Coke more than cranberry Sprite for like the winter classic variants.
I feel like Coke doesn't try as hard on the variants.
Did you try the vanilla frost Sprite from this past year?
So you know what? I will say this. I tried it twice. The first time I got it, I think, and I don't think they admitted to this, there was clearly something off with production because I had bought a couple of bottles because I was handing them out to friends from different locations at the same time. They were all flat and the bottles felt weird. And this was at one of our competitors, a direct competitor. Who's not a fan of me. If I'm judging from the weird LinkedIn follows in the last 2 weeks. And then I got at a gas station. And I was like, there's no way that this is a batch problem. So I waited a couple months and I just tried it real for the first time like 2-3 weeks ago. I actually kind of liked it. I was surprised that I thought it was going to be one of those that I bought to laugh at.
Yeah.
Not in a mean way, but a little bit.
When the early reports like, oh, it kind of is like a sugar cookie flavored Sprite. I was like, well, that doesn't need to exist.
Right.
And then I got a 12-pack and tried it. I was like, well, it didn't need to exist, but I've had worse. So it's fine. It's definitely Christmassy, but
it wasn't so sweet that it was undrinkable, I think was really the catch.
It didn't have the yeasty quality, and we will finish this and we will leave.
I can't wait.
Excuse me.
That's how I'm describing it.
Sheetz gas station.
Okay.
Has an exclusive flavor of G Fuel Energy that is blueberry muffins.
Okay.
And I swear it tastes bready. It tastes yeasty.
I love Sheetz.
I'm not a huge fan of G Fuel's canned stuff.
Sure.
Just of the canned zero sugar energy drinks, of which there are now 1 billion.
Right.
None of them have ever really spoke to me.
When there wasn't a lot of competition, it was top 3. Now
Exactly.
it's definitely it's slipped a little bit. They're not bad.
And they have also prioritized their powdered drinks.
Which are awesome.
And they've yet to say publicly, but they haven't launched a new can in over a year. They are getting out of the can game. They're keeping the SKUs they have at places like Sheetz and your competitors who will remain nameless. But they're not expanding that business in any way because it's more expensive and they don't have the quality of product that would demand expansion, unlike your C4s and your Ghosts.
Of course, absolutely.
And G Fuel will never talk to me now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We'll just blank all of these parts. When I get the edit done, I'll send it to you first, so you can be like, and here's a few things I'd take out. Can we bleep this? I think I think we should leave it in and just bleep it. I think that's
bleep
funny.
every use of the word Pepsi for the first 20 minutes.
All right, going into Coca-Cola. Look, I love Coca-Cola. Yeah. I mean, how do you not? You're wearing the shirt. They've never wanted to play with me, so I mean this genuinely that I do like the product. I'm generally, like I tell my Pepsi guys, I was like, the 2 daily drivers in my life are Coke Zero and Mountain Dew Zero. If I was going to pick 2,
Depending
I'm like,
on the vibe,
yeah, exactly. What kind of day is it, right? And then there's others that I get filtered in. But if you were just like Mark, you can only pick 2 more for the rest of your life. Well, the answer is really Mezzo Mix, but I haven't been able to get it here because of all the weird tariff stuff going on for like a month. For longtime listeners of the show know I'm constantly threatening to quit if I can't get Mezzo Mix. And it's always a joke, but now I haven't had it for 6 weeks. I'm like, this might be my last episode.
This is now serious.
Now it's a
I'm
real
glad
threat.
that I got to introduce you to my equivalent to Mezzo Mix.
Dude, it's so delicious. It hits, that's going to be the new cream soda hole for me. Yeah, it's so good.
I was talking about it when you were on your old man break.
Yes.
It's everything here, even like the weaker ones, is so strong and so sugary that there's some saying about like all a race car driver wants to do on his day off is stroll.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is so tame and just like, it's not attacking me.
Yep.
It's subtle. It's pleasant. It's peaceful.
Yeah.
It's a peaceful soda.
I love that.
Which is not.
That's going to be the line we invent
Of
after
course.
all this. Which you want to go next? You want to go
let's
Mexico?
go.
I think we got to go little guy next.
Oh yeah, because the
we
Mexican Coke,
need some Turkish Coke.
This Mexican Coke needs to redeem the Fanta, and
I feel
think it
confident.
will. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'm throwing these cups.
They're little and designed for just that.
I like that you've poured 2 very tiny cups and it's over half empty.
Isn't that crazy?
Who is that? Who is that for?
You know what? That honestly, who is it for? It should be for the American audience. Honestly, this is the amount of sugar we should have.
Well, yeah, because then I'd get a bandolier of like 10 of them, and that'd be like
I'm ready to
one
go.
lunch.
Oh my gosh. Coca-Cola, I know you don't know me really yet, but you know what? Let's not even bother. Pepsi, guys, get me a Mountain Dew bandolier.
I at one point bought a 12-ounce can bandolier. It wasn't branded.
Yeah.
So that I could strap it full of Yoo-Hoo. And I went to a party with a bottle of Kahlua.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And that was it didn't taste as good as I wanted it to, but it was an occasion, and I bought the belt for it.
And the gimmick, it works. And then you made friends that night, right?
Kahlua is a great name for a drink, even if it doesn't taste that good.
You think Kahlua should get into that game too now? Well, I guess they did try with all the hard drinks a couple seasons ago,
And
but
Kalua's done a bunch of other flavors that
For sure.
weren't as good.
yeah. What do you think of Turkish Coke? Have you
Oh, I
tried
haven't
it?
even gotten there yet.
I meant to smell it too. I'll give it a little whiff. I'll pour a little splash in to smell. So all of the non-corn syrup, I'm going to pour a little bit of the regular.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, all of the non-US ones smell the same. And it's that same thing from earlier that indescribable, I hate to keep calling it the celery note. Someone out there watching the show, I know you know what that is. Tell me what it is.
Well, I don't know how public this information is, so I'll tell you to bleep it. But
Yeah.
Candy hunting, and then I'm going to keep moving my mouth. So you just bleep as much or little as possible.
Yeah.
So the length isn't obvious. I believe she's a flavor scientist, and she might be able to.
She might be able to answer it. Yeah.
might have to.
Oh, we should ask her. Yeah. Okay.
How do I say this politely? I think Coke from other countries where they have rules and regulations on what you're allowed to serve people is worse.
Sometimes it is. I think there might be too many regulations on this one.
This tastes.
I get too much of the celery note.
It doesn't taste enough like Coke. It tastes like It doesn't taste like a bad off-brand cola.
No, it tastes like the bottled Pepsi, though. That's what it. Honestly, I think.
What an insult.
I'm sorry. I'm going to back it because I think I might unfortunately be right.
Oh, I'm not doubting you. I just want an insult to a Coke product.
A little more sweet.
Yeah.
But otherwise, same vibes. That's funny because remember what you said about the Pepsi? Like it tastes like a Coke.
Yeah, between American Coke and American Pepsi, we have these two glass bottle wow, that's
The regular Coke almost has no odor, which I find fascinating.
You might have COVID. Regular Coke definitely has an odor.
But like not as much. The other one definitely smelled. But you see what I mean?
No, yeah, you're right. The smell was actually just a lot of carbonation.
Exactly. It smells like bottle. It might be the recycled bottle. Maybe is off. Look, if you want me to believe that there's nothing wrong with this recycled plastic bottle, then I got a bridge to sell you too. Yeah, so far, and I just retasted both. American Coke is winning. Now, what do you think, Griffin? How do we think? I'm a little let down by old original Tat here.
I mean, that's
what
a
it says.
Cute bottle.
That's the best part.
Still, it's the same thing I said when I first. It looks like a Christmas ornament. It doesn't even look real. It's so tiny.
It feels like one of those things that you'd be at World of Coke, and you're like, is this
This feels like that picture of Andre the Giant holding a beer can.
Yeah, for real.
It doesn't. This is an optical illusion.
This is shrinkflation, dude.
What Coke enjoyer wants? Like, how many ounces? Like,
it's
8?
200 milliliters, so I'm assuming it's probably not even, right?
Let's see. That's
like 6.
200. A 20 ounce is nearly 600, so 20 divided by 3. I'm an influencer. I don't know how to do math.
So it's 6.5.
That's smaller than
6.3.
a Coke Mini can.
Yeah. Can I let me get on my quick soapbox about this as we run out of time? But I am my soda box, yes, my cube, my 24 pack.
Soap. If you take the P and turn it into a D and move it 1, there you go.
There you go. So
I know how to
perfect.
spell. I just can't do math.
That's fine. We're word people.
Exactly.
I love the little cans. I think it's great, especially if you want to be in moderation.
And look like Andre the Giant.
Right, but I hate that they switched. You remember when the little cans first came out and they were fat and they were the same. They were this.
Yes, they were that, but short.
And they were. I always called them chubby Coke because they were like little. It was like I just envisioned myself as a child.
What
right?
a
It's like
nice way to
plump.
say chode Coke.
Well, I mean, if nothing else.
You can believe that too.
Chode Cola Classic. I really liked the chubby cans. I always thought they were so cute. And the new, these just scream energy drink to me, even though I know it's like, not, but.
So the 12-ounce slim can is definitely people not knowing how to do math. Like, it's people, you look at that and because it's taller, it has more than.
It's like
there's the reports of, your gas stations, your C-suite stores, the 12-ounce slim cans are now being sold for more than they would sell a regular 12-ounce can.
Yeah.
Because people look at it and go, it's a bigger drink.
Right.
It's not. It's just, it's that one meme of the kid, which one is bigger? And it's two identical beakers, but one's taller. Because
it's definitely that way.
It's a perception thing, which
for sure.
We're all circling back to the Pepsi globe and the orbit of the Pepsi consumer.
And this is the wingspan of the Pepsi consumer smiling as they go through the aisle. You're like, oh, it's crazy. All right, let's go Mexican Coke. Let's see if we can be redeemed.
Okay.
It smells stronger. Yeah, cheers.
Cheers on that one.
It's been a pleasure so
It's
far.
been a
Thank
delight.
you. Great to know you, dude.
What a
My
way to
mustache
spend a
keeps getting in the
day.
way.
I trimmed mine earlier specifically to avoid that.
I thought about it, and then I was like, I should do that, and I forgot to. Better than Turkish.
Yeah. That tastes... Okay. I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to say this out loud.
You should, I think, but if you need me to bleep it too.
RC Cola?
I do like RC, though.
Oh, yeah, it's not...
No. I know it's not a knock. Coke will be mad at anything you say, unless you're saying that they're the greatest people of all time. I think because I never...
would.
I mean, I love them, but I don't kiss any brand that way. I save that for home, You remember when selling out was considered bad and now that's all we do?
That's all we want. Yeah, God.
Yeah, I'm like, no. I love Coke. I also love the competitors. I think a healthy bit of... Look, the best time in video games to me was the 16-bit Game War era. We got so much cool stuff that way. Now we don't really get that kind of competition.
They were poaching programmers by the day.
Yeah, and think about how many people were employed that way.
Like earlier this week, I got a couple DMs regarding a less than positive review I left of an energy drink brand.
Yeah.
And that the messages were accusing me of always just
I saw that.
on this one brand. And I was like,
other brands are paying you to say that. I'm like, they're barely paying us to talk about them.
I don't give many positive reviews. Like my most common score is like a 7. Because it's like, it's not bad, but it's not.
When I first started following you, I kind of laughed at first because your range seriously was like 6.5 to 8, and I was like, I wonder if this guy loves anything. And then I got to know you, and I was like, I always say, learn the reviewer, because then your 7 could be my 8 or vice versa. I mean, that's how life works.
It's the select like this. I think I've only given like 2 or 3 things ever like a 10. Like I would give Colombiana a 10.
Yeah.
I think Watermelon Jolly Rancher was like a 9.5.
Unique. Look, and all the things I'm finding out that you like are unique. And they're also, if it's something that it says it's this, it has to be very accurate.
If it's going to be authentic, if you're going to spend the money for like a licensed collaboration, then don't mess it up. Like that should be obvious.
It made me just think of one of mine that I wanted to love so much. And I still liked the overall brand. It was the Rise Energy Kool-Aid one.
Which one?
The Tropical Punch.
Okay, there we go.
Specifically, I didn't even see the other one. That was one, and I remember talking to the team, and they were awesome, and they're like, yeah, Kool-Aid wanted it. It's the only one we had with dyes because Kool-Aid really wanted that. And I'm like, awesome.
Kool-Aid's supposed to have a color to it. I have a joke about Rise, and I've not talked to them, and I'm sure they're lovely people. You look at, C4, and they're doing Jolly Rancher. You look at all these companies, they're going for candies or gums or whatever. And then you look at Rise, and these brave souls are going, what if you could drink Country Time Lemonade? What if
Which,
you
by
could
the way,
drink
was one of the best ones.
Sunny D
Yeah.
or Cool? It's like...
Yeah, like, has Sunny D not get you cranked up enough as it is?
That they're like, we figured out how to put Sunny D in a can. It's like,
they're like, whoa, wait a second.
Good.
Look, at this point, I need C4 Yoo-hoo. Tell me you wouldn't take carbonated chocolate, or not even carbonated, caffeinated is the word I meant. But that said, I would try carbonated chocolate milk, if I'm being honest.
So we're near the end of our
yeah, I'm going right away.
You just said caffeinated chocolate milk. This is a public plea.
Oh, I can't wait.
Last year, a company named Spylt, S-P-Y-L-T.
Yes.
Released caffeinated chocolate milk. And I got a message from them very early on, and they were interested in sending me some samples. And I pitched that review to Sport, and they said, yes, please, review that.
Yeah.
And I have not heard from the brand since. They've since released other flavors. They've got a strawberry now.
Yeah.
They've got like a vanilla, a chocolate, a strawberry, and I want to say like a cookies and cream.
Did you give a positive review?
I haven't tried them yet.
Oh, you haven't tried it? That's right. Okay.
And I have reached out to them like,
Yeah,
hey,
like, hey, let's do
we
it.
spoke. So I have like a...
You're like, I know if you just scroll up a millimeter, you'll see where you called me.
15 months ago?
Yeah.
Like I've got this one line in my sheet of all the articles I'm supposed to do for Sport. And it's my white whale is like this caffeinated chocolate milk. That sounds so strange. And it's shelf stable too. So it's one that you can pop the can right off the shelf.
You made me just think of something along those lines. Super Coffee did in their new canned line. They have a mocha one.
The extra?
Yes.
I tried.
Did you try the mocha one?
Yeah, Arnold.
Yeah, because they came out a while ago. Yeah. But that one was like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is caffeinated Yoo-hoo.
Are you going to the Arnold?
What's the Arnold?
This might be the actual last.
This is say this in a way that when I send this clip to my bosses, they go, oh, that makes sense.
So, well, if it's going to your bosses, I'll start with the easy stuff. It's in Columbus. It's pretty close.
Oh, the fitness event, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Festival,
oh my God, I'm such an idiot.
Largest, like sports expo conference.
Oh, we should totally go to that.
So they have like, you look at the expo floor and like 90% of it is, workout belts and like powdered supplements and like stuff for people who go to the gym.
Right.
I don't.
Yeah.
However, right at the front, the Stacked Expo, run by a friend of mine named Shane Smith, is built up of energy drinks and supplement companies, like primarily like Ghost is there.
Yeah.
They've got a bucked up a ton of these
Yeah.
drink companies, and then there's those drink companies are other places in the expo as well. But just by nature of it being such a big event, it is one of the, like, if you're going to like chart, well, what's the biggest energy drink convention? But those don't exist.
Right.
But if we look at, where are there more energy drinks being shown than anywhere else, it's the Arnold. It is. I went last year for the first time. It was fabulous. I'm going back this year. It is like next weekend.
Oh, okay.
Which means by the time this airs, it was last month.
Oh, yeah. So first weekend of March?
Yes, it is.
I can't go this
end
time.
of February through I want to say the 1st.
Well, maybe I can go beforehand because that is the toy fair that I'll be at.
Yes, that was when I was.
As much as I'd love to help you go broke there. I know Ray outside watching right now. He's like, I want to go to toy fair, but he quit the company.
That'll do it.
His last day is before we leave. Yeah. Joke's on Ray.
So,
R.I.P. Ray in peace.
You should, most of the expo runs Friday through Sunday.
Okay.
So,
Maybe I can swing up Friday.
Where are you flying out from?
From
you don't need
CVG.
You don't need to dox yourself on. I just
exactly.
filming.
Here's my address. No, it's fine. I'm actually incredibly terrified to fly right now because I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, because
I worked in the airlines.
We forgot how to fly apparently.
Yeah, in like 2 weeks' time.
Apparently, Pete Buttigieg was single-handedly pushing the button to keep the island from exploding and lost. And when they got rid of him, all the planes just fell over.
Get in the bunker. 8, 24. I don't remember all the numbers.
Who knew
I didn't
Mayor
really watch
Pete
all of it.
was holding our airlines together with his hands,
honestly,
like Loki at the end of season 2.
Just grabbing the threads. I love it. Oh my gosh, that's so ridiculous. Griffin, I think we're going to run out of time. Rank with the Cokes for me. I hate to tell you what my order is now. I'm embarrassed almost.
American, Mexican, Turkish.
Is that 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my take this time too.
You can't beat the classic.
Yeah,
and it's not just the classic Coke.
The real thing.
It's the classic cola.
It really is, and I'm surprised because what's funny is my neighbors own it's their house, but then they also have a bodega, and Gutierrez Deli rules, like amazing food. Their son opened, he was on the show early on, he opened a taqueria a block away.
Nice.
So it's now, I joke, I live in the Covington Taco Triangle, and it's all Gutierrez. Right, it is a dream. If you're ever down that way, please call me and we'll eat so much good food. But every time I go next door, I'll always go, no, I'm not having a regular Coke. I'm having a Mexican Coke, and I'll drink it and love it. I do think that Mexican cola, now after you told that story, I'm like, was Mexican cola post refrigeration? Probably not, right? Because this is probably closer to the OG recipe, I would assume. But there is something about an ice cold Mexican Coke that hits different than classic Coke.
I will say it may also be contextual.
That's true too.
We don't have right now
tacos.
Where
are my tamales?
Tacos.
Sergio, Claudio, Courtney. She is the least fun name of the bunch, unfortunately. I need some tamales for this. That's amazing. Dude, this was so much fun. You can come and do this anytime. I know I joked off camera, but like seriously, if you guys want to do a recurring thing about this, if that's helpful to you, I'd love to have you.
I mean,
I know you have like fun upcoming news things too.
Oh, always.
I hear some of it, but I know you definitely hear more than I do.
And I mean, when we were roaming the aisles earlier, I was showing you a little bit of the news that just came out of Cagney, the press conference, what it seems like.
Yeah, right.
That by the time this goes live, I'm sure that'll have trickled out. But
but we did see some cool stuff on there today.
I mean, that's
I'm drinking. Do you want to refill while I got it out?
Please. For all that, I came here to just talk about beverages. One of the other hats I wear at Sporked is I cover a lot of candy. I cover anything they let me. Pop-Tarts, lint. I've had so
Do you almost say lint
truffles.
traps? Oh,
lint truffles.
Lint truffles. I was like, oh, lint traps? That's a weird third part. What flavor?
That was the best, worst idea I ever had was pitching them. I'll review every flavor of lint truffles. Because how many could there be? What could it cost? $10? There are over 30 flavors of lint truffles.
Yeah. You said you did 38 total, didn't you?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
So many. I think there might have been 38 and I couldn't find a couple. But like they also have seasonal flavors that I couldn't get at the time that I can get now, which is what I'm doing after we finish recording in 3 hours.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this is the extended cut. I'll release this on the Criterion collection later. There's like a director's edition. We're going to be in
the closet.
I got Nick Bowman over here recording a commentary track for us.
Oh, good. The behind the scenes.
Shout out Nick for being here the whole time. I saw you stifle a lot of laughter. You could have laughed. We would have been okay with that.
It would have only improved how cool we sound.
Yeah, that's very true. Griffin, you're the best. Thank you so much,
This was
dude.
an absolute delight. I'm glad I saved my first podcast appearance as a real boy.
Thank you.
For this show, because no one else has a set nearly this nice.
That's awesome. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And thanks to Jungle for having the vision for it, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, no, we love it. And dude, thank you so much for shopping here so frequently. I love it. And we see all the tags. We're very appreciative of it.
Oh, yeah. I put up an article on Sporked a few months ago that was just, what is junglejims? Because I wanted to write about the stuff I found here, and I didn't want to spend a paragraph every time explaining, well, so I go to this theme park of a grocery store.
Right.
And the fact they let me do that, which like, junglejims is huge. But for Sporked to let me effectively shout out a small business in the scheme of what they usually cover.
Yeah, for sure.
I really appreciate Justine for letting me do that.
That's awesome.
And I'm looking forward to doing similar things in the future. I don't know exactly how well those posts did, but obviously I did a lovely holiday shopping roundup from the international section, and I hope to do some more. I mean, honestly, like something like this would have probably been a good piece, but I think they might do something like this on Good Mythical Morning, like every month.
Well, we'll invite them out too. So, guys, come out to the show. I've only been sending you handwritten letters, emails, all kinds of things. I mean, you don't even have to do the podcast.
Signals. Just show up.
I literally invite these people. I'm like, look, I get that I'm the podcast host and you get a lot of these asks. First off, I want you to do it, but I don't expect you to do it. I mostly just want them. I'm like, come find out how cool this place is.
Come do one reel. Yeah.
And the thing is, I won't even make them do that. I'm like, just take a picture with me. That's really the end all. But people will beg you to come on the show after that. So then it's not just me.
Like, because once they got a picture, like, it's like, well, you were right there. Why didn't you do it?
Exactly. And I'll just be like, well,
so
they called me the something. I'm just kidding.
So what it sounds like is every time I come in here from now on, I'm going to come in and we're just going to do 5 minutes on some new drink that you're going to append to the latest episode with like a real chef. Because
pretty much
you have like real people come out of this thing, and then I'm also here, which is so silly.
That's how I feel about myself. I'm just like, oh. I mean, as of the time of this recording, this week's episode was a big, serious one about mental health and the Ohio Council. That's like a big advocacy group. And I obviously took it seriously, but I also I still laugh at trauma for myself.
Oh,
so there's a couple.
How else am I supposed to do it?
Yeah, how do you face the horrors without a...
as my therapist is sitting in a chair out there.
Yeah, I know, right? That's amazing. I'm glad you brought them with you. Are you getting paid for this? Because maybe I'm in the wrong line of work.
Are we? Are we talking to them?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm checking. I want to just see what kind of... look, if I could get a remote therapist, I guess they have telehealth. And my doctor's lovely, but still. Let's wrap this up for real. We should have him follow you. Where would you like him?
At SodaSeekers. It's easy, and it's one word. Instagram and Facebook. I'm not really anywhere else on... But
on Spork.com as well.
Yes, Spork.com, which... if you go to my Instagram, there's a highlight that says reviews. You click through, it's every review I've ever done for Sporked. Once you're there, you can look at my page, where I also have like news. And I write whatever they'll let me write.
Yeah.
I love writing and I love getting paid in reverse order.
Right.
So I'm always,
Same.
I pitched them like 12 articles this morning. So I'm just trying to do stuff and look forward to me coming back to announce the return of Fizz Fest. Please.
I want that so bad. That's still one of my favorite festivals.
Just
ever.
add that to your clip. Explain it to your boss why you need to go to the Arnold.
Okay.
I will do so much for this event.
We would go crazy.
Do you guys know how many events I've run? What I did before I became a fake journalist on the internet?
I was the same way before I became a grocery store talk show host. I was like, you wouldn't believe the parties I've thrown. Still working on a couple of them. All right. Well, on that note, follow Griffin at SodaSeekers. Check him out on spork.com. As like he said, it's all on his page there on Instagram. You'll love the content. It's a lot of fun. I know we kind of glossed over the Diet Cherry Coke thing, but I am excited to try that. When that comes out, we should do a Diet Cherry Coke versus Cherry Coke Zero thing and taste that out. But we can do whatever you want. Whatever. Quarterly. Who else did we talk about today? Snacks with Zach's?
Zach, Tebow.
I had to do it.
Candy hunting. I got plenty of buddies. Now, the closest is Tebow. Yeah. So if we could drag his ass down here.
I would love that. Oh, I want to get candy hunting in too. And I keep promising her, I was like, you don't have to do a face reveal. We can shoot it like a witness video. You know what I mean? Like
the white
aggressively black backlit. It'll be so good. Oh my gosh,
no,
that's great.
I'm sure you got a mascot suit in here of a bug.
Right. Well, the face is open. That's the only bad part. So it's like literally the only part you don't want. I was like, and then I'm like, and the Magneto helmet, also same problem. Okay, great. We'll work on it. Well, on that, Griffin, thanks for being here. Thank you all so much for tuning into this episode. I hope you had a great time. I had a great time. This is the kind of stuff I want to do all the time on the show. Thanks for taking the time to drive down here. Thanks for shopping Jungle Gyms, dude. I appreciate it.
Cheers.
Cheers. And on that note, I'll see you out there in the aisles. 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 I like your hat. He didn't hear.
The Jungle Gyms podcast is recorded in the WJJI studio inside Jungle Gyms International Market in Fairfield, Ohio. The Jungle Gyms podcast is produced and hosted by Mark Borison.